Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. My name is Swaglock, and with me today, as always, Chicken. Dude, Chicken, it has been quite the expansion launch. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on? It's me, the chicken.
The Chicken.
I'm here. I'm alive.
It's a me, Chicken.
I'm doing well.
I'm so glad. Bro, you know, we had been talking a bit this week leading into this episode. We originally had a guest planned and some stuff happened, so we kind of pushed that back. But, you know, it really felt right, I think, as we're starting this new expansion, that you and I can just sit and yap about our experiences together and just kind of like, you know, just vomit all of our thoughts out and like think about it. Because that's one of my favorite things, man. Like when I think about what makes our podcast special and unique, it's just how you and I, like, we can overthink things, right? Like the theories and always trying to say, like, why is Blizzard doing that? Why would they do this? Why would they do that? And so I think I'm really looking forward to, traditionally every fifth episode, we try to bring a guest on. We did just have two amazing returning guests on the podcast the last couple of weeks, which big shout out and thank you to them for being on. But
Yeah,
also, you know, for this episode, I think it'll be good for you and I hang out. And I will say, for those who are listening, who are like, no guest today, listen up. We have been in touch with some really awesome content creators. We already have somebody on the schedule coming up in April that we'll be recording with on the calendar. We're excited. We've got a few people we've been talking to that I think are going to bring such a fresh perspective to the conversation. And probably some names that you've heard of before, which is really cool.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. You shouldn't be worried.
It's going to be real good. Dude, listen, I think the Warband in Midnight is going to be the best the podcast has ever been. Like, we've got so many cool things planned. It's going to be awesome. Like absolutely awesome. In fact, okay, listen, a few numbers things, because I like numbers. I always like numbers. I think last week's episode is now officially, I'm checking, our most watched episode.
I mean, that does make sense.
Dude, it was a good episode. Good episode. So,
how much more watched is it the other ones by percentage? Like 10%, 20%?
So here's the thing. Compared to like our highest listened to episodes, it just kind of has them edged out. But again, as of recording this, that episode's not even 7 days old. And we know that it takes time sometimes for people to catch up on the podcast. So I would say it's
true.
It's going to be like when's all is said and done, it's probably going to be like a 20% bump on what like our average, what our average is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, that feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Really good.
Okay.
Really good. So
that's
I'm excited.
Some, fuel for the old tank, if you will.
I think people are excited for Midnight. I mean, we haven't even talked about what we've been up to, but before we get to that, I'm all over X, the Everything app, I think more than you are. I try to
100% more.
Right, I try to like kind of stay up to date with whatever the WoW drama is. And man, leading into Midnight, I think it was just all doomsday, right? Like, it was like, Midnight's going to be terrible, and they're just rehashing old content. And there's things that you and I will for sure complain about. 100%. We're not saying we're not going to complain on the podcast, but it was like the add-on apocalypse, right? Add-ons are going away, and everything's going to be terrible, and your UIs are going to suck, and everything is going to suck, and the whole game's falling apart. Nobody even wants to play this game anymore. The developers don't know. Like, it's just like, thing after thing after thing of like why Midnight was going to be the worst expansion ever. Now, granted, I also lived through people saying the same thing. Well, not the exact same thing, but somewhat similar things about Pandaria, right? Like, even leading into Midnight, like a lot of conversation about, I think people said the Disneyfication of, and that's the whole topic I don't think you've been a part of yet, Chicken, but the Disneyfication of WoW and the lore telling and like the character development stuff and just like how they've changed it. And regardless of which side you sit on, I actually agree with a lot of both sides, to be honest. But, those were the same things I heard back in Pandaria. When Mr. Pandaria was announced, people were like, we don't want to play Kung Fu Panda. What is going on? This is Warcraft, right? and end up being one of
crazy.
the best, like one of the best expansions the game ever had. Now, to be fair, it also had Orc Hitler in it, and so that kind of
Had what?
we Garrosh Hellscream, aka Orc Hitler.
I was
yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, it's actually a surprisingly accurate title, which is rare. I don't usually throw that one around too quickly, but Garrosh, he was quite the fellow. But we'll get to that maybe another time in Warcraft lore with Chicken and talk through Garrosh and his father Grom. But all that to say, overall, dude, Midnight has actually felt pretty good. It's been fun. It's been enjoyable. We're gonna have our critiques today for sure. But if somebody came up to me and was like, dude, should I play this? Like, is it gonna be fun? Yeah, absolutely. With that said, though, the fun of Midnight, dude, Chicken, I've monologued long enough. What have you been up to today? Or this week, I guess.
Today,
yeah, this week. Sorry.
I woke up. Well, yeah, been these past 2 weeks at work have just been rough. So I haven't played like too much. But I did jump back in, dude. I'm so close to 90. I just haven't gotten there yet. Like I'm so bad. Like I've just been taking my time like so much.
Listen, last I checked, I'm gonna make fun of you a little bit. Last I checked, you were a lower level than my wife. And my wife,
really,
she hates leveling. Like she
what
legit
is
she I think right now she's 87.
Oh, okay, I'm higher than her.
Okay, you weren't yesterday. Like last night I checked, and I was like, oh.
Oh, I grinded a lot last night because I was like, oh, maybe I can get to 90
Makes
before
sense.
we record.
To be fair, though, she
wrong.
hit like 87 like days ago. And now
that's
she
100%
finished
me.
She finished the storyline. She finished the storyline, and then she was like, all right, I'm done. I'm just gonna go back to my house. I collected enough. Basically, she did all the story stuff, and there's so much housing decor that she was like, okay, back to the house.
Dude, and that's like I let my wife play for like a fair amount yesterday because I was like, I need community coupons, and the only way to get them is freaking placing decor. Like, come on, Blizz. Like, couldn't have any creative like thought other than, hey, we want you to decorate your house with your new stuff. Anyways, that's for the rest of the podcast.
That makes sense.
But yeah, no, I've been trying to, dude. I've been grinding so hard trying to get to. What's it called? I haven't even finished the storyline yet, and
really?
You might laugh because I haven't even gotten through the Heron area.
That's okay. I think I saw that you did the Erator one though.
I did, yes.
So as somebody who doesn't really pay attention to lore, right? I know lore's not really a thing.
Yeah,
that is a very lore kind of heavy storyline. You go to some old zones. As somebody who's not paying attention to that, to me, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is sick! I love that they're creating natural ways for people to get the story, and it feels like it should happen, right? You're like, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna go here and have like a little nostalgic moment and have them talk about this. But for you, that's not like your joy, like it is for me. So for you, how did that feel?
It was kind of neat going back to the old zones. Like I've never experienced those zones, so it was kind of cool just to
like have a reason to do it.
Hey, go back. We're gonna see like the old zones that really made Azeroth in the beginning of the game. So that was neat.
Good.
Again, yeah, it's very much just go here, do this, grab this, kill this, and like that's fine. And like, dude, last week I feel like everyone was like, dude, why does this guy even got a WoW podcast, bro? He hates this game. And last week I was just like mad tired. Like I was so tired. I'd like driven like 4 hours that day. Oh
yeah, that's right.
And I was awake since like 5. And like I was just like, the last thing I want to do is report this podcast. But hey, you pull through. And yeah, so like bear with me. Last week was a bit rough, and everyone, I apologize. But yeah,
Chicken's like, dude, I'm struggling, and yet why is that the one everybody listened to?
Yeah, right. The zones were good. The one thing that I kind of was like a little bit disappointed was that they, like, I understand why, like, it doesn't necessarily make sense, but I kind of wish they might have updated the resources in those zones, because I was going through and getting like Burning Crusade like wood and like stuff like that, and I was like, I really want to get like the new wood. So I
you're
can
right.
make a lot of the new. Yeah, and
I never
like,
thought of
and
that.
even
Yeah.
the ores and stuff. And I was like, it's not a big deal because it probably would have taken like a lot of work to go through and do all that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like super like upset about it, but it was kind of like,
Yeah.
So
No, I know exactly what you mean. Like, if you are going there as part of the main campaign of Midnight,
for midnight, yeah,
right,
it's like well,
maybe the
I'm
resource.
farming a bunch of old mats.
Yeah, I guess what's tough though. I guess what's tough is like if they put the new mats there and then somebody's like leveling through there.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
That could
That's
get
why
weird.
I said like logistically, like it's probably just me that was upset.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. Dude,
Although,
yeah,
there was like a little bit of bugginess where I feel like it was like, oh wait, because like the one time I traveled to the zone from Stormwind, and it was like almost like bugged. Like it was like, wait, you shouldn't be here at your level, but also like it was like it seemed like it was just like bugged because
yeah, like it hadn't
was
phased
old
correctly,
content.
maybe.
Yeah, so I don't know.
No, that totally makes sense though. That totally makes sense, right? Because you right, like there's a potential that you could have entered into that zone in a way that they didn't expect, and so the phasing, like maybe the phasing just didn't occur properly. That totally makes sense, but also kind of awkward, right? Like for you and I, we encounter those things and we're like, "Oops, this happened. Let's just go restart it, and it'll fix itself, and then we'll do it." But I think, but now that I've been playing with my wife, right, World of Warcraft, I think one of the things. I think one of the things that has like really stuck out to me though are those little hiccup moments that for again, you and I who've played the game long enough are just like, oh, we'll just reset this. For someone like my wife who's not a huge gamer, when she encounters those moments, it's kind of like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? I'm at the spot, nothing's there, right? And this idea that maybe the game messed up and not you, right, isn't always the first thing that comes across the mind because usually like, oh no, I screwed something up. I did something wrong. Like, what's going on? And so I just say that to say, like, I get that those things happen, but man, now when I experience them, there's a part of me that is like, ooh, that's definitely causing trouble for somebody, right? Like somebody's getting into this and they're getting stuck and
they're like ticked.
Yeah, right. And they just don't know what to do. They're like, I've screwed up. You know, like I don't know how they get any further. And then sometimes I wonder, like, do you think somebody just like quits at that point? Probably not for the most part, right? Like. But do you ever get to that point where you're like, well, I just can't figure it out at all? I would say, though, the problem, though, is WoW is so on rails now that it's pretty hard to get, like, stuck in WoW.
Yeah, it is. I mean, every once in a while you get a quest that just, like, is not working. It's like, okay, well, you just gotta, like, unaccept it or, like, reload, and that kind of fixes it. But still, that's like,
But even then, annoying. You and I know, we're like, I had to do this for my wife the other day. She had picked something up, and then once she had picked up the quest, she forgot to hop. Oh, it's the one in Herondar, right, where you have to ride the flying mount and then like blow up the light flowers or whatever, right? And again, right, she had picked up the quest, and I've done this, dude. I did this in Legion during a quest where I picked it up and then didn't realize I was supposed to just hop on a mount right away, and so I just run over to the spot where you're supposed to blow the things up, and I'm like, oh wait, I was supposed to ride a thing, right? But the problem was once you pick up the quest and go away from the area, there's no marker showing you where the little thing to hop on is. And so she's like, I'm in the spot, and it's not letting me do anything. And I'm like looking at it, and then I can't figure out how to get back to her mountain. So I'm like, just abandon the quest and pick it up again. And that works. That fixes the problem. It's a very easy fix for the problem. But only somebody who has had to deal with the awkwardness of like MMOs and WoW would know that, right? Like a new player is never going to think, oh, let me just abandon the quest so that the marker for the quest shows back up on my map so I know where to go to pick it up where the flying creature will be.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, it happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
I agree.
So overall, comparative to the War Within, because you're still leveling, but you've gotten pretty far now. If you're already 87 and you haven't even done Herondar, you're pretty on point for 90. I think I finished all my stuff and I had like 2 levels to go. But I think for you're probably going to finish Herondar about 88, maybe 88. And well, no, you said you're over 87 now.
I am 88. I'm like 80 and a half. And I feel like maybe I'm like a quarter way through Herondar. I don't think I'm
You might have
halfway.
overcommitted a little bit because you haven't even
Yeah,
gotten to voice storm. Dude, you're going above and beyond, dude. Getting that extra rep so that your wife can decorate the house.
Yeah, dude, I am trying. I'm like, although I feel like I've gotten a fair amount of decor through, what's it called? And I'm item shop Andy now. I'm buying everything off. No, I'm not. Just kidding.
Okay.
That was a joke. We'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, for real.
But yeah,
I did buy the 10 million gold painting, by the way.
No, you didn't. Stop.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Oh, did you buy it through like the trick way of doing it?
What trick way?
Like there's like a trick way where you don't have to spend 10 million.
Can you link that to me?
Are you serious?
Nah, dude. Yeah, of course I use the trick way to buy.
Okay. I was like, bruh, stop.
Nah, dude. Yeah.
Turd.
Yeah.
Anyways.
For anybody listening, by the way, I'll just spoil that right now.
There's a WoWhead article.
There's a WoWhead article, but they don't want to go there. They want to hear it come right from our mouths. There's a so in Murder Row, the dungeon Murder Row, right? That's the name of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Right when you kill the first boss, in that area where the first boss is, off to the side is a painting vendor. He has a bunch of like random junk stuff. The only one that's actually housing decor though is like 10 million gold. And so in order to buy it, you need to have 10 million gold. Or you can go to that fortune teller Sargol, who's also in the dungeon before the first boss. Go to Sargol, and he'll give you a fortune. If you get all 13 fortunes from him, right? They're numbered like 1 through 13. If you have all 13 in your bag, and then you go to the painting vendor, they'll be like, "Oh, I feel really bad for you. Here's a cheaper price." And so it's like 999 gold at that point, just like under 1,000 gold.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, that's like nothing. And so
that's cheap.
Yeah, so I took my wife into Murder Row. I was like, "Oh yeah, I have this painting in my house," and she's like, "No, you don't. No, you don't." And she's like, "No, you don't." I was like, "Yeah, I do." And then she started to panic for a second that I actually spent like a bunch of money on like WoW tokens or whatever. But then I gave her, because you can trade them, by the way. You can trade the fortunes.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not soulbound.
That's kind of crazy.
So you can trade them. I helped someone else out in the guild with them. Chicken, if you want it, I got you, dude. I'll hook you up. Just give them back when you're done. Yeah, just give them back when you're done.
Maybe. I mean, I'll probably run that dungeon enough to get them.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. Offer for like the Warband podcast listeners. Be like, "Hey guys, we've cleared up to the first boss. All you have to do is log in at this time, and Chicken and I will help you get the
Patreon bonus.
Yeah, Patreon. You know what, dude? Yeah, I'll offer it right now. I'm posting in our Patreon right now. Yo, anybody here want the 13 whatevers for the whatever? Not bad.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
All right, but yeah. So Chicken, but how overall comparatively to the War Within, how's it feeling?
Sorry, I got like a hair in my mouth at the most like awkward situation. No, I think it feels good. The few dungeons I've done have felt really good. Just the gameplay of them feel good. There's kind of like niche kind of elements in them that make them feel like standoutish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess talk to me in like a year about how I feel, and then we'll see. But like even the delves, I think feel like so much better. I don't know what it is, but the delves feel like they actually like are semi-enjoyable.
Yeah.
And there's like actual things to do in them, and not just like, oh, run this way and collect 4 objects, then kill a haphazard boss.
Yeah.
I don't know about your experience with them.
Well, everybody knows how I feel about delves.
Yeah, but they feel like
I've enjoyed them
better.
this expansion. That's how I feel about them. I've enjoyed them, dude. They've been fun. Like
the tomb one. I don't know what it's called, but like you go down, you have to like pull all the levers that like opens different gates.
Oh, that one's fun. Yeah, the little maze thing.
Yeah, like that one feels good.
Also, low key, I really like having a delve in Silvermoon.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I've probably done that one the most, but it's just because it's right there.
Yeah, I think, is that the one that gives you the community coupons?
Oh, yes, sort of. So the delves rotate. The delves rotate which mobs come through. Like what, like kind of, I think every 3 days or something.
That's
Like every
daily,
day they rotate or something. So the delves change up day to day on like what you do in the delve. But there's a an endeavor thing right now about killing the like light bloom creatures or whatever. The basically the plant creatures, right? And so that dungeon though, like, makes it really freaking easy to kill large amounts of those light bloom creatures. And I found out kind of by accident. I wasn't like intentionally trying to do it. I just saw myself start getting a ton of community coupons. I know my wife's listening right now in the background. She's like, "Yo, wait, hold up, swag." My husband found a way to get community coupons. I did. And so yeah, if you're looking to stock some up, like that one, because basically the reason why it works is it's not just because there are light bloom creatures there. It's because you have all those really small ones. There's like hundreds of them that chase you around, and you have an item that like instantly kills them all within an area, and so you just like go through and just destroy them. And so I probably got like 40 community coupons just from doing.
Oh my gosh,
a couple times.
Dude, I gotta figure that out. Yeah, I need to like look something up to say like how do I get the most community coupons, because I like done went and spent all mine on the old vendors.
Chicken's trying to get all the wine bottles now. He's like, I collect all the wine bottles.
That's what I want, yeah. To put in my my nice little cafe in my house. Yeah, dude. Community coupons, crazy. Anyways.
Dude, the things you didn't think you'd be doing in WoW, you know?
Yeah, right. Grinding for community coupons.
Back when you started this game, way back in Shadowlands, you never thought, well, one day my wife's gonna make me play the game to get things for her.
Yeah.
But here you are. Here you are.
Here you are. But yeah, you know, it's crazy. I think one of my biggest, like, back to what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest gripes is literally just the gameplay in general. Like, I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm not level 90 yet, but like I feel like so much weaker. Oh my gosh.
It's a conversation that comes up, I think, every time a new expansion comes out, but especially right now. I believe, I want to say I was listening to the bench podcast talk about it as well.
Yeah.
We've discussed it plenty on this podcast, so it's not like it's a conversation we've never had before and we're stealing from them. We've talked about it, but like, dude, I think that's one of the biggest downfalls of WoW, the whole scaling thing. And I get kind of why they do the scaling, because then it makes all content kind of relevant and gives you more freedom in where you go and what you do when you're leveling. But sometimes freedom is overrated. And that sounds like the most un-American thing I've ever said in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Right? But let me explain what I mean by that, right? Like, we talk about open world games as if like they're the pinnacle of gaming, right? But sometimes a game is a little too open world, right? Like, sometimes you want some limitation. Now, there's games that you don't, right? Like, if I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, dude, I just want to drive around my cars and go wherever. Like, dude, I don't even play Grand Theft Auto like it was meant to be played. I just want to get 5 stars and see how long I can survive. That's all I care about, right? Like, can I do cool tricks with my car, right? That's all I care about. But
how many hookers can I kill? Yeah, exactly.
Wait, this is a family friendly podcast.
Oh, right. How many hookers can I preach the gospel to?
There you go. Perfect. There we go. And so, anyways, you know, kind of back on topic. The in WoW, I do think sometimes limits are good. Limits can be really helpful, and I think power scaling is one of those, right? And the reason why power scaling is one of those is because it's cool when you enter an area that you're too weak to do anything. It like naturally limits you, right? It's an artificial kind of limit, but also a natural limit in the sense where like you go, oh, if I was stronger, I could come here. Like I could just keep like death skipping across here, right? Run a little bit, die, come back to my body. Run a little bit, die, come back to my body. I could do that if I wanted to. Like, the game's not forcing me out of here, but it's going to be the most miserable experience if I try to stay here. And that, I think that really lends itself well in an MMO, in WoW, because you have something to aspire to. You're like, oh, at some point I'll be strong enough and I'll get there. And when you finally get there, it's the best feeling. You're like, yeah, I've made it. I'm strong
That's
enough.
fair.
And then you go back to the old places and you walk in there and like you're like easily killing things, right? Because part of the motivation of leaving a zone is like, dude, everything's too easy to kill now, and I'm not getting enough XP. I got to challenge myself, right? And I think the leveling in WoW, you could talk about it a bunch and all the things they could fix. I would say the easiest, simplest fix is I would actually maybe lower how many levels you have to do. Maybe it's 40. Maybe you level to 40, right? As like the base leveling experience, and then 10 levels for that expansion, right? So to 40 and then to 50, right? But then make the leveling just feel rewarding. Right now it does not feel rewarding. And it feels the opposite, right? Like you started out at level 80 and you were probably like, yeah, this stuff's not too bad. Like I'm not really having any trouble killing things. And then as you get to like 88, you're like, ugh. Bleh, this is boring. Like this is boring. Bleh, right? Like you don't feel like you're like, you feel like you're just getting weaker, like as you progress along. And I just think that, man, like if WoW had found a way to just like make leveling feel rewarding, it doesn't have to necessarily make leveling super long and tedious and boring, right?
Yeah.
I'm not asking for classic leveling. I get that we live in a different era and a lot of the gameplay is at max level, but I would still like leveling twofold: one, to feel rewarding, and two, to still reminisce in some way. I want leveling to feel like end game content. And again, a new expansion always brings that back out because we walk in, we have like heroic and mythic track gear that we're wearing, right, from the previous expansion. So we're coming at level 80 super geared, right? And then by the time we're 88, we're like medium geared, and everything just hits harder. And so I don't know. I don't think that balance feels great. Luckily, I'm starting to feel it a little bit less and less because I'm getting some good gear. At the same time, I'm not necessarily looking forward to my shaman. That I've dabbled a little bit on leveling my shaman, but not much. And I'm not necessarily super thrilled to do that as a healer.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like to the point where I'm just like, oh, like this sucks. But it's to the point where I'm like, man, like I really just don't like it. It's so like I feel like I get into things and I'm just like, man, like I feel like so weak. I feel like I can't just jump in and just kill things like quickly. It just feels like it takes forever, but I feel like that's almost what it's supposed to feel like. And it's like, man, like I don't want it to feel like that. I want it to feel like I'm all powerful and I can just like breeze through leveling, but it's obviously not what it's meant to be.
No, it's not. But at the same time, I want it to be rewarding, right? I don't have to. I mean, would just crushing things. It was like the other day we were trying to figure out how to get to Borealis, so my wife could just knock out a couple quick quest lines. Specifically, you have to do like the intro quest line for Borealis, right? Yeah. And we couldn't quite, for some reason, we were struggling. And I feel like I've done it before. I've definitely done it before. But how to start like a max level character through the Borealis starting, right? Quest, rather than just going to Borealis. Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like the game, like we couldn't quite get the board to give us the quest, and Chromie won't let us Chromie time. And we had like taken a bunch of quests off the board, but none of them were the one. They were all like zone specific. It was weird. I don't know if they changed something. Maybe we should have kept taking more quests. I don't know. All that to say though, it kind of got to a point where it's like, oh well, maybe the answer is you just have to pop on one of your other characters and Chromie time it, right? And just call it a day. And she's just like, I don't want to actually like have to go fight things. I just want to bring my hunter and just like look at things and have them die, right? Like I just want to speed through it. And there's like a part of me that like,
amen, sister.
Right? Yeah, there's a part of me that kind of wants to do that, but I get that that's never going to be the case for leveling. And so if that's not going to be the case for leveling, which honestly probably better. Sometimes what you want isn't fun, right? And I think in this case, it'd be one of those things where I get really bored of it really fast. But it's just whatever we have right now just doesn't, it's not appealing because I don't feel like I'm getting stronger. Even if I'm still struggling against the mobs I'm fighting, I want to know that I could go back to the mobs I was fighting yesterday and whip them, right? Like, I want to know that, like, I've improved. My character's gotten stronger. And it's in this weird medium kind of ground where you're not necessarily just one-shotting everything, but you are killing everything so fast that you don't really learn how your class works, right? So it's a little too fast but too slow at the same time. and then you're getting upgrades, but you're still feeling weaker, right? Like it's just, I don't know, it's this homogenous mess, and there's too much about Midnight for us to spend forever talking about the leveling experience. So we can probably move on.
Oh
but yeah, I think it's interesting.
No, I agree. It feels kind of rough, but like, and like not even to the point where it's just that. Like I'm like really struggling with like just the class changes, not necessarily feeling weaker, but just like I feel like some classes there's like they did a lot of changes for button blow, but now I'm like, dude, there's like nothing. And like if you've played Blood, you kind of know how the class kind of generally works.
Yeah.
And I think in the past, like the goal to proc as much dancing rune weapon has always been easier, but now it's like, oh, I just have to wait for a minute and 30 seconds, and it's like, ugh, that just feels so bad. Like before, you know, we had Tombstone, we could pull the cooldown. We had, you know, Bone Storm, I think it was, that would limit the cooldown. You just had little things, but like, and like even thinking back to like Legacy, Unholy, where like everything you would do would like help purge the 7-minute cooldown or 8-minute cooldown from Army of the Undead, and it just doesn't feel like that anymore. It literally feels like OG Frost, where you're just like obliterate, whatever, obliterate, breath, obliterate, like it's just like 2 buttons. Now I'm just like Hearth Strike, Death Strike, Hearth Strike, Death Strike, Blood Boil. Like it just like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as comprehensive as it used to. And I understand there's a lot of classes. Like I think like Frost Mage, I played a lot of that, just like, oh my gosh, like some people just, I don't know how they were so good at it.
Yeah. Now, I will say, to be fair,
it's hard.
To be fair, though, you know, I'll say this. You know, if you're listening to the podcast, Chicken is a brilliant dude. Like, Chicken is a brilliant dude. And I think because of that, I think you tend to lean towards classes that are more complex in design. I think I think that's more fun for you, right? I think for you, you want to be processing all that information, and if you're not able to, that kind of becomes a bummer. And for sure, Unholy got simplified, and I think probably for the better. But it stinks because like even though you know it's for the better, you're like, yeah, but I don't know if I like it for myself, right? Like, which kind of stinks. But we'll have to make a list of classes to check out. I do think though we don't have our tier sets yet, although I have no clue what tier set looks like. But I also think with the big stat squish and the simplification, I think Blizzard just knows that they have to continue to give themselves room to build up, right? You can't just build up and build up and build up forever. I do a lot of the music stuff, right? And you can't just build forever with like a song.
Yeah,
that's true. Right? A song is only as good as its highs and its lows, and like at some point there's no more room to build, right? Like you have nothing more to add. Like you can't go bigger with your chording or louder on the drums, right? And you find creative ways to bring that down where you're like, oh, well, then we'll just do a big Tom's break on this chorus or something like that. But, you know, it's tough because they have to come up with a way to bring things back down. And I think they did it kind of abruptly, but it had to happen.
I agree.
And part of that is the whole borrowed power, right? You know that meme? I don't even know what the meme is from. Somebody's going to tell me exactly what it's from, but everybody knows it. It's like the 2 astronauts in space, and the one guy's like, with the pistol to the other astronauts, like, it always was this way, right? Like, right?
Dude,
like,
I have no idea what you're talking about. Literally no idea.
So it's like 2 astronauts, they're in space, they're looking at Earth, right? And the idea of the meme is that, like, the one astronaut is realizing that something always was a certain way, right? Like, maybe it didn't appear that way, but it actually always was, right?
Sure.
And then the other astronaut's behind him with, like, a little pistol to the back of his head, and he's like, of course it was always, right? Like as if he knew the whole time. Basically like, oh no, I was tricked, right? I was tricked. I can't believe I didn't see this from the start. And you know what? The reason why I'm bringing up that meme is the whole idea of borrowed power. Everything's borrowed power. Everything is borrowed power, right? Like at some point, at some point you have to give it up. So even if they like bake it into all the hero talents and the apex talents and the normal talent tree, right? Eventually Blizzard's going to come along and be like, oh wait, we've given you too much power. We got to take some of that back. The question is that borrowed power for one expansion? Is that borrowed power for 3 expansions, right? This idea of like, oh, I'm going to keep like popping my bone shield stack so I can get my dancing rune weapon out faster. Like feels like, oh, that's a core element of Blood DK. Like that has to be.
Yeah.
Nope. Turns out that's just borrowed power, right? Like it's borrowed power in a prettier package, but at some point, right, that's borrowed power. Nothing lasts forever, but it is. I don't know. There's kind of like a silliness to that where all of a sudden it makes me stop and go like, are borrowed power systems really that bad?
I mean,
mixed. I'm mixed on it, right? Sometimes they're fun because I think it allows Blizzard to do something cool and then not have to like maintain it for another like 7 years.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I feel like they stripped some things from me, and that's fine. But I'm like, dang, like sometimes I just wish like it's not the equivalent, but it's like how I felt when they took away a bomb limb, aka Slappy Ends. I was like, oh man, this sucks. Like, come on, like seriously, guys.
Dude, they gave it back to us, and I don't even have it on my bar.
No, I don't either, dude. I use Gorfy.
It's so neutered. It's so neutered. It makes me sad.
Yeah, I know.
I will say there are some occasional pulls where I'm like, oh, dude, A-bomb would have been so good right now.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree, but I'm a Gorfiends guy now.
Gorfiend.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, is it ever going to be the way it was? And I don't know.
I think it'll build back up, right? Again, season 1, especially, by the way, I don't know if you started the War Within as a tank. Season 1 for tanking is always the worst.
I think I did. Oh, yeah. That's right, because they made all those changes. I did, and I was like, oh, man. Blood felt like awful because they limited the amount of like what you could do for a Hearth Strike.
Yep.
And you couldn't just like randomly take like a butt ton of damage and just like, oh, I'm about to die. Just kidding. Hearth Strike, I'm back at 100% health.
Yeah, dude, Hearth Strike used to be so goated, and now I pop it occasionally because you have to like calculate it. And by the way, I wonder if we'll see a change to that, right? Because again, I don't know if that's something add-ons are able to track. We used to be able to track it easily with like a weak aura, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my gut tells me because it's based on your health. Right? Maybe the game can kind of keep, maybe like an add-on can keep rudimentary check of your health. I don't know. I actually don't know if that's limited or not. So maybe, but even still, I think it would have to guess on a couple things and that wouldn't be great. I don't know. I feel like, sometimes, by the way, and people don't realize this, sometimes old mechanics existed because Blizzard knew they could rely on players having add-ons for it, right? They could do things like making that change to the Deathstrike like kind of healing factor based upon how much damage you took within a certain amount of time, because the average player doesn't care. They're like, whatever, cool, then it still heals me. I press the button, I get healed. I don't know how exactly it works, but it heals me. And like the Omega good player is like, oh, in order for me to get the maximum out of this, I can just use a weak aura, and that weak aura will track it for me.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's exactly what it was, right?
Yeah.
So,
which is why a lot of this stuff I think had to be simplified, whether Blizzard wanted to or not, right? Like the add-on stuff required simplification of classes because there just were things that you had to have. Like, there's no built-in bar telling you the perfect time, or even just giving you data on that, like helps you make a decision on when to pop death strike.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I guess some people call that the health bar, right? Get low, press death strike.
The health bar. Yeah, but there definitely was like weak auras and add-ons that would say like, oh, if you death strike now, this is how much it'll fill your health bar.
Yep.
And those were like goaded back in what's it called, because you could literally just be like, oh yeah, I'm about to die, so
absolutely
death strike.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
What can you do?
Yeah, but you know what though? It's season 1, and not even season 1 yet, and that just tends to be how it is. And we're also running around. You're obviously not max level yet. I'm running around like I have a couple pieces of veteran gear, and that's like,
oh dang,
dude,
I
got some 240s, and I'm feeling like again, like, yo, and when I say I have a couple pieces of veteran gear, I don't mean like, yeah, I've almost replaced all my veteran gear. I mean like, no, my veteran gear is my good stuff. So
yeah,
like,
right.
we've got
gotta get that vault.
Yeah, we've got plenty of room to grow in power this season. And I suspect Blizzard wants to do another what's it called? Turbo boost as well. So I suspect there'll be plenty of power to be had this season, next season, season after. By the end of midnight, I'm sure we'll be feeling just as fast and strong as we once did before.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I'm not worried as much about just general strength. I miss the old rotation. I think like it just didn't affect me as much going into the war with him because I'd only been tanking for like a season, and I was like, oh well, yeah, maybe this makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But then now it's like, oh man, like I feel like my whole rotation's like different. Now I just have to sit and wait until I gotta wait for a minute and a half. This is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Imagine having to wait.
I will say tanking is always the hardest in season 1. It just always is.
Oh yeah.
Season 1 tanking is a mess. It's difficult. But you know what? It's fun. I'm back at it, right? Been gearing my tank, been practicing. I was in a dungeon. I won't say I was in an M0. I was in an M0 dungeon this week, and I had a chuckle because I was running it. And again, dude, it's week 1, right? Like people aren't like, I mean, some people are going hard, but most people are just trying to learn. They're just trying to have fun. They're just trying to play a game that just came out, right?
Oh yeah.
So we're doing an M0, and I have because I have like 3 monitors, right? One I use for like my Twitch chat pretty much exclusively, and then the other 2 I'll use for gaming and like, I don't know, internet stuff, right? Or Discord. And so I'm gaming, and on my right side, I'm watching some YouTube video of a guy trying out different guitars at a guitar store. Listen, I like that stuff. That's what I like. Okay, I like watching people play guitars.
Yeah.
So, anyways, right, I'm watching this guy. He's doing a little challenge. He has to find what are some of the best options in the store for under $1,200, right? And so I'm just watching him. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. It was
okay.
cool. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun video. Right. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm like watching this video of the guy, trying guitars out, and I'm just kind of like haphazardly going through this dungeon. I'm just pulling a bunch of stuff, and like, I'm not totally paying attention. I'm not totally paying attention. And someone in the group just goes, "Hey, are we able to slow down a little bit? This one's a little extra stressful." And I'm just like, oh no, I'm sorry. We could definitely go slower. But
I'm just like, sorry, I'm a jerk.
But I felt bad because in my mind, I was worried I was going too slow because I'm like half paying attention. I'm watching this guy play guitar, right? Like I'm glancing back at my screen occasionally. But I'm also probably pulling like 3 packs, maybe 4 packs, depending on the group at a time, right? Because for me, that's fun. Like I want to, every time I pull a pack, I want to feel like I'm about to die. You know, like, if I don't feel like I'm gonna die, then I pulled too small, right? Like I want to be like right on the edge of like trying so hard to keep myself alive, and I realized that maybe the adrenaline I enjoy is not the anxiety that they have fun with, right? So
dude, they're like this guy.
Yeah, so I felt bad. I slowed down by the way. I'm not a jerk. Like I'm not a jerk. I didn't realize. I was like, yeah, I can go a little slower. Like. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. And so, but dude, I will say though, there's something really fun about doing M0s this week when most people are trying to learn and they're just trying to have fun. They're just trying to play the game, right? They're just playing the game because they love the game. You know, it's different than like, oh, I need to do this because I need rating and it needs to be perfect and everyone can see one way. It's just kind of like, oh no, something happened. Let's sit around and wait a minute, right? It's just, I don't know, man. There's a joy right now in Dungeons, but I'm also excited for the season to start.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, we got a announcement from Blizzard. Season 1 start March 17th, which I'm sure no one was actually surprised by. And yeah.
Sort of.
Wait, really? Actually?
Sort of. Well, I mean, it's sort of March 17th.
It's sort of March 17th?
Yeah. So
well, this is what I get for not clicking on Wowhead articles and just reading the punchline.
Reading the headline. So, just to clarify, season 1 begins. I don't know about PvP. Sorry, I can't answer anything with PvP.
Forget PvP.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
That's
about
an
PvP.
end of expansion worry.
Yeah. So sorry about that. But anyways, yeah. So anyways, March 17th, we are gonna get a couple things happening. So make sure I get this all right. First thing, we're gonna have normal and heroic difficulty dungeons open up, I believe. Right.
And
so
raid.
Sorry, raid. I mean normal and heroic.
Yes.
Raid, right?
Fair.
And probably wing 1 or whatever, or first few bosses.
Yes, wing 1
for LFR, right?
Of Raid Finder. Yep.
But then March 24th. Oh, and the other thing that happens on the 17th is M0 dungeons and heroic dungeons change to the seasonal rotation. So right now we're playing M0 for all midnight dungeons, which is actually odd. I'm surprised they even made M0 versions of them for right now. It seems weird to have tuned M0 versions of them for a 1 week experience. Yeah. But they probably had to tune it anyways, so then they're like, oh, we'll
for like future dungeons.
Yeah,
maybe.
right. It probably had to
like,
exist, so they're just like, well, here you go. Enjoy it for a week. So after this week, it will be the actual season 1 rotation of dungeons in M0 and heroic. But March 24th is when Mythic Raid opens up. So Mythic Raid will open up, and I don't think it's all of Mythic Raid. I think it's just one of the raids opens up for Mythic, and then that's when M+. Two.
Yeah,
and then
the Void, Spire, and Dream Rift.
Okay, perfect. And that's also when M+ becomes available. So it's kind of weird because we say season 1, but the things that you often associate with the season a lot of them are coming out on the 24th. So like Race to World First type stuff, and M+ rotation is coming out on the 24th, and then the 17th is just normal, normal and heroic raid. Although it'll be fun, it'll be a nice little change of pace. That's why I'm taking off work the week of the 24th, not the week of the 17th.
Nerd.
Hey, dude, I like my M+. I like doing M+. What can I say? It's fun. It's fun to push, especially at the beginning of a season. Absolutely.
No, I agree.
But yeah,
I agree.
So for anybody who's curious, M+ doesn't actually start until the 24th. Mythic Raid doesn't start until the 24th. Normal heroic raid start on the 17th. That's pretty much what you need to know. That's the gist of it. And you'll be able to do the new Mythic dungeons on the 17th as well, only as M0 difficulty, Mythic difficulty, not Mythic Plus. So, you have also super random. I see in the notes you have the Key of Argentina nerf, right?
Yeah.
I think they changed it again.
Wait, really? For a third time?
Well, yes. So there's a new hotfix as of yesterday for the key. So remember how they changed the key to where it just teleported you back to wherever you came from? So if you go to the Argentina and you leave the Argentina, it teleports you back to wherever you came from. To me, that everybody was complaining. That makes the most sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you go to the Argentina, you leave, you pop back to wherever you were before. In fact, it was actually pretty goated if you were just like out in the middle of nowhere and you didn't want to leave that spot, but you needed somewhere to like log out so you get rested XP.
Yeah.
That was pretty goated. Right? But for whatever reason, people complained. Probably because most people hate fun, I would gamble. And they made a big stink about it. So Blizzard came back. This is the new hotfix. I actually really don't like this. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. The Argentina is now a 15-minute cooldown for the key. But going out the portal will always take you back to Silvermoon again.
Yeah.
So it's basically a Hearth to Silvermoon with an extra step. With like half the cooldown length of a Hearthstone, I guess.
Well, see, the 15 minutes is weird, and I will touch on this because whenever I went to the Arcantina yesterday, sorry, I don't know why I was gonna say last week, but then it was yesterday. I was doing like the quests that you find in there to get like the core, but like it would let me use the key to go back there from the zones like immediately. So I don't. That was kind of interesting, but it was nice because I didn't have to, like, the one was go to Ice Crown Citadel, and you just like went into Ice Crown Citadel and like grabbed a few things, and then bounced.
Oh, but you know what though? You do bring up a good point, because when I was I did the Outland quest for the Hellfire Peninsula, and after I picked up the stuff, I keyed back to the Argentina. And then when I left the Argentina, it dropped me back in Hellfire Citadel.
Oh, really?
And I was like, wait,
You're like, whoa.
I don't want to be here, right? So maybe some of this change was because they were actually running into trouble with people doing the questing, and then going back to the Argentina, and then being dropped back in the quest spot that they were doing for the Argentina, right? So it kind of became this like endless loop, where then all of a sudden going to the Argentina forced you to use. Okay. Blizzard, I see what you're doing. This is why you come to the Warband podcast for your WoW news.
Oh my gosh.
That makes sense. It's because there's just a logistical problem with making it work the right way without causing problems.
A tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it made sense for me, and then I just kind of bounced out through like the portal they have in the Argentina back to Silvermoon. Which again, that made sense to me.
Yeah. Last week. Sorry, what were you saying?
It seemed fine to me when I tried to do it. Like, it didn't seem like broken at all.
So last week, we were talking about the random things that you can pick up, like an inky black potion and stuff from the Argentina. Oreo gave us the hot tip for you can get reflecting prisms there too, which I love reflecting prisms. Now I'm done buying them off the auction house. I get them for free at the Argentina. I actually think that's a little weird.
How?
I actually think it's a little weird. Usually there's one like sitting by the fireplace and you just pick it up.
Oh, really?
And every reflecting prism's like 50 charges. So why would I ever buy one now, right? Like, who cares about supporting crafters, right? I can just get them for free. But I was talking about how I had figured out that you can swap appearances with Valera because she is in your party technically in a delve. So the other day I'm popping into a delve and I'm like, I'll swap my appearance again because it's funny. And I go to swap my appearance and I swapped at the exact same time. The cast went off. Valera will do a teleport while she's fighting, and she'll disappear for half a second, if even half a second, and then reappear, right? Behind her enemy, kind of like a rogue type thing. Rogues probably have it. I just don't play rogue well enough to know what it's called. It's probably Shadow Step or something.
Oh my gosh. I can see like the little the picture for it, but I know exactly what it is.
So anyways, though, apparently when that happens, it actually gives Valera an invisible character model for that brief moment. Like, for that moment, it's an actual, like, invisible model when it moves her over. Again, a fraction of a second. It's not even a whole second. It's like a fraction of a second. It's like poof, poof, right? Like, she's there. And somehow I hit it right at that exact time, and I got the invisible model. And you best believe I ran around for as long as I could with that invisible model and was, like, putting it on my friends and then taking it back and, like, running around. I got, like, a photo somewhere of myself, except it's not me. It's just my shovel floating.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick. Cool.
Yeah. So I was pretty proud of that. And, like, it's one of those things where I could not replicate it again, even if I tried. It was, you just can't time it that way, because it's not like you can sit and click it as soon as she teleports, because there's a cast time on the reflecting prism. So, like, it's like a 2-second cast or something. So, like, yeah, you have to. It just was the wildest chance, and it was cool. And I want to find another way to get an invisible character model. So, if anybody knows how I can do that, please tell me.
Okay, well, you heard it here, folks.
Absolutely. Well, you never asked me what I was up to this week, and so I was sitting on that little bit of story.
Interesting.
Yeah. In case you were wondering, by the way, it's delves. I've been up to delves this week.
Interesting.
Actually, I've done a good amount of delves and a lot of dungeons. I've just been enjoying it, having fun, trying to get geared up for raid. I want to make sure I'm geared for raids, so then I can like work on my alts and start leveling them up without thinking too much. I see in the notes that you have some stuff regarding delves as well. While we're on the topic, we kind of talked about it, right? Anything else that we haven't talked about with them? I think they feel good. Objectives feel good. People miss brand, but I don't.
Yeah, the few delves that I've ran aren't too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of neat. I think we touched mostly on the delves.
Yeah, once the season starts, I don't know if you'll see me in them much, but like right now before the 24th, like, dude, cool. It's content. It's something to do, right? Like, it's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Once I have other options, it's probably not my main, but again, other people love them, and I think for our listeners who genuinely enjoy delves, I'd love to hear from them on what their thoughts are on these ones. I think they're fun, and my hope would be that the people who are enjoying delves right now, or who have historically enjoyed delves, find this to be fun, right? Like I want them to find this better than what they've had before. There was an interview. The Potty Seed did an interview with a couple employees at Blizzard, and they talked about the Mega Delve, the Labyrinth, coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of dodged the question of like what kind of gear the Labyrinth is going to give. And they kind of played off as if they weren't sure yet. My gut tells me
we're not sure yet.
My gut tells me they're fairly sure of what they want to give, and that it's actually probably going to be better gear than you would think. But part of me also
they don't
feels
want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about, because I think that would stir up too much attention and too much negativity around the topic. At the same time, though, this is releasing like mid-season, right? Like turbo
so
boost
it's like,
time.
who cares about gear mid-season?
It's releasing like turbo boost time, basically, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's like an extra, like, oh yeah, obviously everything's getting stronger. Even delves can get some better stuff, right? So I think that'll be interesting. I think that'll be cool. I think that'll be very cool. Have you done? I know we talked about it a little bit last week. Have you done follower dungeons?
Yeah, they're like really hard.
Dude, why are follower dungeons so hard?
I feel like they're harder to do than just regular dungeons.
I know,
at this
bro.
point.
Dude, a normal dungeon is way easy. Dude, I went into a follower dungeon with a friend from the guild, right? And they were healing, and we're going over, because I'm helping them get the painting and whatnot. And then I invited them later to do an M0 with our group. And they're like, I don't know, I haven't healed a mythic yet. Like, my gear's only at here, which was good enough for an M0. And they're like, I don't know if I'm like, look, if you could heal that follower dungeon we did, this M0 will be a piece of cake. Like, honestly, dude, why are they so hard? Like, I don't get it. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, the NPCs are weirdly strong in follower dungeons, and your like fake party members kind of suck. And so it's like it's like a double whammy.
They're so bad.
They're so bad, bro.
Yeah, it is basically like a double whammy, to be honest.
Yeah. But you know what?
It's really hard to explain, though. Like, man, I just wish they were better. Like, honestly.
Yeah. I think what's hard. Well, I think what's hard is, again, and we talked about last week. I, veteran WoW player, was like even confused with the wording on the quests of like, hey, if I don't do this as a follower dungeon, like, does it not count, right? I feel like they tried too hard to force you into doing it as a follower dungeon. And I think what they should do is it really should pop up and be like, hey, you should queue up to do this dungeon. However, we recommend doing it with a group of other players. That's the most fun experience. However, if that's not what you want, we also have the option to do it with NPCs. Click here to do that, right? But instead, it just kind of like only makes it sound like follower dungeons like are the option.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it makes it very well like, oh, I have to do a follower dungeon.
Did you do the Zulaman dungeon, the one like for the bear Loa? Did you do that one as a normal dungeon or a follower?
So, low-key, I tried to do it as a normal dungeon, and I gave up halfway through, and I was like, I'm just going to try this as a regular dungeon. And it worked, and I was like, thank the Lord.
I mean, as a follower? You tried originally as a follower, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and
Okay,
I just
okay.
I was like, this isn't it.
Dude,
this is not it.
It's so bad.
Like this is not it.
Like all this time we've been like, wow, follower dungeons are great because they'll help new players like experience dungeons without all the toxicity of players, right? No, man, dude. Bro, the toxicity is worth it. It's worth it. Let them insult you. Let them make fun of you. At least you'll complete it. At least you'll get it done.
Yeah, like honestly, sorry guys.
Right? Like and the problem is like it's not even like you're not like you're struggling to complete. Everything hits hard. It's like it hurts and it's just slow. It's like you're in there for like 35 minutes. It's like it's like a long dungeon, dude. I'm sorry, but that follower dungeon there. If there was a timer, if this was M+, they're not timing. The NPCs ain't timing.
Yeah,
so
that's probably.
So I will say this though. Listen, if you're listening in and you've done some M+ and you've timed it, doesn't matter what level. If you've timed it, just remember you're better than the NPCs. Okay, you're doing all right in life.
Honestly,
things are good.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, but man, I will say though, like other than that, like I genuinely, I mean, it's more fun to talk about the things that stand out and are weird. But I've really enjoyed playing this season. It's been really good. A lot of stuff we already kind of touched on last week, even with early access. But getting to play through all the zones, especially zones that are like near and dear to my heart, getting to see Eversong Woods again, getting to go into Zul'Aman and actually experience Zul'Aman on a deeper level. Dude, all of it is like cool. Like I really enjoy it. The characters are interesting. I don't know why they had to, you know, last episode was all the spoilers. I won't do that again to everybody, but it just I don't know, man. I'm really enjoying it. It's been good so far. There's some wonkiness at times to it, but like I think Midnight's a lot better than for some reason I feared it would be. There's like a part in the back of my head where Midnight was like the forgettable expansion, and we have plenty of time to decide that. But
we have plenty of time to forget it.
You know, but also we have plenty of time for them to release some like banger mid expansion patches. You know,
yeah.
So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be really good. But it is. I've enjoyed it. What can I say? I've had a lot of fun.
What can I say?
Yeah.
It's a good dungeon.
I will say though, that I think my favorite feature of Midnight for sure though. My favorite feature of Midnight is, dude, I could probably spend all day in the in-game shop just buying housing decor with real money.
Stop. No.
And that brings up that brings up our final topic of the day.
Big L, dude. Huge L. Like,
Huge.
Absolutely terrible L. Like, dude, when I saw this, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Please no.
Here's the thing. We knew it was coming.
Dude.
We knew it was coming, right?
I know, but like,
the problem is, I think Blizzard had a chance to show us that they could do it well, and then they didn't.
And they didn't.
And then they didn't, dude. Blizzard, the wrong move was to drop like $125 worth of housing decor on the store.
Right. My goodness.
I don't care how big the freaking bundles are. I don't care, man. I don't care. By the way, if Blizzard had dropped those all as like $15 bundles, I don't think anybody would have.
Story.
I don't think anybody would have batted an eye. I don't think it's.
Totally
I think people
different
would
story.
I think people have been like, "Oh, that's a little pricey," but whatever. I think the other thing is that you also, it's not like early access stuff, right? Like where it's like, "Oh, hey, I got the Epic Edition of Midnight, so I get these items. But if I want more, I can go buy them with gold in game, right?"
Yeah.
No, if you get what you get in the bundle, and if you want more, you have to buy the bundle again.
Yeah.
Or that item individually.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's like, and like the crazy thing was like people were like, I think the biggest thing came with the tree. Like people were like, I literally am spending $7 on a tree.
A single, by the way.
A single tree. Yeah,
a single
tree.
You don't get duplicates, right? Like you're not. It's not like oh hey, I'm buying one tree plus the ability to buy more with gold in game, right? That's not what's happening, right? It's just like I'm buying one single tree to go outside, and we know you're not putting one of those out there. Like you need a few.
No,
you need a few, right? So like that's like $21 for some landscaping.
Oh, dude,
wow.
And I think you might have hit it. Like I think that's almost how it needs to be. Like you can buy. Like you buy like almost like it almost feels like it needs to be like copyright. Like you're buying the right to buy more of these, right?
Yeah. Like you're buying the ability to also get access to more. Kind of like the early access stuff, things like that. The other thing, also I really don't like that they include the Horde and Alliance doormats in there. I really prefer anything that feels kind of in-world in WoW. To like,
yeah, I can get behind that.
Be its own like an in-game thing.
At the end of the day, though,
at the end of the day, they're doormats and they're also like $2.
Like that's fine.
Whatever. Although I think that's more expensive than the little plushies were, right?
Yeah, the plushies were only $1, and that's kind of like that felt like it was gonna set a good precedence, and then it just didn't.
Yeah, the plushies felt correct, right? It's like, oh hey, they're $1, but if you buy 5 or if you buy 8 of them, we'll do for $5, right? Like, I was like, yeah, okay, that's not bad.
That was perfect,
right? The other thing that got me too was at the same time they did the housing drop, they also dropped the what was it, the $50 mount pack?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh,
the freaking sugar gliders.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
it's like to me, and it's hard because like they just dropped an expansion that they easily probably made like a fair amount of money off of, right?
Yeah.
So to make this in-game shop, and like again, we'll always go back to Fortnite. Like always go back to Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like the Fortnite in-game shop feels like it feels good because it's not like you're spending a lot of money on things that are like it feels like this is what I'm gonna play for like a while.
Yeah,
like
I put this on, I wear this skin, and everybody's gonna see it, and I'm gonna see it every time I'm in the game.
Yeah, like I'm gonna rock this skin for like months possibly, right?
Yeah.
Like I still rock the chicken skin. Like I'm pretty sure that's like the only skin I ever use, and I paid for it, right?
Yeah.
And that feels good. And like that was still only like $10. But now you're telling me almost for the same price I get one tree. Now they nerfed the tree price because I think that was like people were like, okay, we might like people might like burn down Blizz HQ.
Yeah, I think they like started to add more. They started to add more in there, right? And then you saw like on X, the Everything app, you even saw like conversations where people are like, don't worry, guys, I bought a sugar glider, but I did not buy that housing stuff, right? Like, they're like, there's a line in the sand, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It just, it feels hard. Like, again, like a lot of people just spent like probably $100 on an expansion, and now they're saying, hey, you know, for $25 more you can get some cool like, and it kind of sucks because like it is cool decor. Like the decor is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's not like it's just like, oh, like this decor is like, you know, it's okay decor. Like it's cool decor. Like the cherry blossom, like it's neat. Like I've never seen a mount from the store that's like, oh, like I have to have this mount. But like when I saw the decor, I'm like, oh man, this decor is
like, you're like,
really...
I know my wife would love like, this. Yeah,
right.
My wife would love it.
I was like, my wife, she saw it and she was like, oh, like that's really nice. How do I get that? And I was like, well, you don't.
Yeah. Oh, and dude, and the worst part of it all too, right? Like the worst part of it all is even as what you said, right? Like it wasn't like, because they know their audience. They know their audience. The dude that wants like the hyper masculine World of Warcraft isn't sitting down building his house, right? Like he's not the one. He's not the one buying on the auction house, right? I realized this. Yeah, I think I'll say what I'm thinking. Sorry, I want to check if I should censor myself first. But you know what? If we get canceled as a podcast, whatever. We've had a good run. We've had a good run.
Yeah, we've had a good run.
So I've been obviously the past few weeks, I've been looking into potential upcoming guests and stuff, as we've been talking about for the podcast. And at one point, I went onto Grok, onto the AI, and I was just like, yo, make me a list of like 30 TikTok content creators that make content around World of Warcraft that would be like a good fit. And I just put like all the parameters, good fit for a podcast, blah, 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 blah. The vast majority, especially for content creators who are on camera, right? Like I don't want like content creators who were just making like the little like green screen memes and stuff. As funny as those are, I need people who we can actually have a conversation with on the podcast, right? And and so the majority of them that came up were like female content creators, right? And historically, like it made me do a double take and a pause. And I was like, okay, well, give me another list. And I even like, I think in my second one, I was like, give me a list only male creators. And not that we have anything against having female creators on the podcast, but at this point, I was like, now I'm curious. Now I just want to keep aggregating this data to see what comes up. And it actually struggled to make a list. It couldn't fill out all the spots. It suddenly could like no longer fill out all the slots.
That's kind of crazy.
And when I looked at a lot of these content creators, they're making again content that I would happily share with like my wife and some other of our guildmates who are super in housing, like lots of housing stuff, lots of transmog stuff, where to collect things, right? Making memes about things, like whatever, right? I think a lot of them are probably just more comfortable on camera too than like maybe a lot of the guys are, which is fair. So I'm not ripping on it at all. My assessment though is that I think there is a large shift in WoW towards that. Not necessarily to change the overarching story of WoW, but that there are certain game elements, right? Housing being a major one of them. We see it in Transmog as well, where there's a demographic that really wants those looks and those things, right? And so they see all the cherry blossoms get added into the shop for their house. And it's just like, yeah, that's what's going to sell. That's what's going to sell for player housing.
Yeah, right.
And by the way, dude, I'm not complaining. I also enjoy when they put that stuff in there. I want all of it, dude. I want the whimsical, cute little butterflies and whatever. And then also I want like chainsaws on the end of pole arms and whatever else, right? Like that I get from dungeons. And I want skulls all over my armor, right? Like I just I want the whole gambit, right? Like I want all of it. And so
Gnomes,
dude, I'm riding around on my skeleton horse, Invincible, and then I look at the sugar glider. I'm like, I don't know, man, dude, the sugar gliders are kind of cool. Now I hop back on my meat wagon, right, and start launching meat at people. So, it is a very, very wide array. Are there Kobold onesies now in the store?
Is there what?
Kobold onesie transmogs.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Okay, low key, Blizzard had too many store drops, right? Okay, I'm saying it now. Blizzard had too many store drops ready for the midnight launch.
Yeah.
And I don't like this current thing of like, oh, hey, we have 4 colors. You can either buy one color or you can buy
all of them
for a bundle. I don't like that. I'm not liking that. I don't like that. Also, why do the Kobold onesies have to have their toes out? All right. Anyways.
Oh my gosh. Of course. Only you would notice that.
No, dude, they're huge. They're huge. It's not small. It's not like your character toes out. They're toes designed into the onesie. They're Kobold toes, dude.
Oh yeah, I see.
Who's into those?
Dang, $20, dude.
I know. I know. Okay. Anyways,
what can you do?
Yeah, right. They're trying to incentivize you so you and all your friends can get matching outfits with slightly different colors. But with that said, we got some awesome listener questions that we want to get to. So, of course, real quick, let's just thank all the support of our podcast. If you've been listening to our podcast, we love you guys, man. The Warband could not be what it is without all of you. But we do want to ask a little bit of a favor. If you've been enjoying the podcast, if you haven't been, I mean, you can, but please don't. Leave a review of our podcast, especially on like Spotify and Apple. Yeah, good one. Leave us a good one, like a nice like.
Don't leave a bad one.
At least 2 stars, right? At least minimum.
At least.
Well, I mean, like minimum, right? Like I would hope for 5, but listen, chicken. Listen, dude, we have to earn that 5-star, that 5-star review. We got to earn it. We will be posting toes on the Patreon for anybody who gives us a 5-star review. Not my toes, not chicken's toes, but we'll find some toes. maybe cobalt toes and post them on there.
My God.
Yeah. But anyways, if you could leave us a review, that'd be awesome. If you are really loving the podcast and you want to find even more ways to support us, our Patreon is an awesome way to support the podcast. It really is so helpful. It keeps the lights on around here, making sure that we can post our podcast each week. We often go over our upload limit, and the Patreon, pays to make sure that we keep our podcast uploaded on all the platforms that you love. And lastly, the last thing that we'll mention is, our guild, Astra. We love our guild. It's an amazing guild. It's a guild that Chick and I have found together, found together, and just love being a part of, and want to offer if anybody is curious and wants to join a guild. You can find out more through the Discord link in the description for our Discord, not the guild, but our Discord. And come hang out on our Discord. With that said, just come hang out with us. Come relax. Chick and I are fairly active in there. We love chatting. We love talking about WoW. Just building community. I think our mods are working on a potential hide and seek game that we might play in the podcast neighborhood. And you should definitely join the podcast neighborhood. By the way, we've got a neighborhood for the podcast. You can find out more info though in the Discord. And with that said, we can move on to our listener questions. Our first question coming from War Gramps, which said, "Which quest line so far in Midnight has a twist that made you go whoa?"
Oof. All of them.
Twist. They're all plot twists for Chicken because he doesn't even know it.
Yeah, all of them are a plot twist for me because I don't even know what's going on. I just say, "Whoa, I got this piece of housing decor." That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I'm
trying to think. Low key, I like doing the ones with the around the academy.
Yeah.
Right outside Silver Moon and that first village. Those quests were kind of neat. Right where the Haranir portal is.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, cool. But those ones were kind of challenging, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of struggling. Those can't find anything.
Those were really cool. I also it's interesting because Harandar isn't necessarily my favorite zone right now. I think it's got a cool Zanga marshy feel, but a little too yellow. It's just too yellow everywhere, I guess. But it's cool.
Fair.
Yeah, it's cool. But I think the one thing they're pretty heavily implying, I don't even say they're hinting, they're heavily implying, is that the world soul, Azeroth, apparently supposedly resided in the what they call the cradle within Harandar. Now, it could have been something else. There's a theory going around that it was actually the old god Ysarge. I'm pretty sure that theory's not going to be correct. That theory would actually probably, though, be much more interesting than what's actually going to happen. I think what's actually going to happen is we're going to find out that the old gods took Azeroth out of the cradle and put her in whatever it's called. They put her in whatever they have her in now, right? In their own Titan kind of devices and whatnot. Right now, the Blizzard, for whatever reason, has really been enjoying writing these stories of these forces that you thought were good are actually not good. I don't know. It kind of makes you feel like you can't trust anything after a while. Where you're like, well, everything's evil. It's all right. I, as the player, start to feel like I just need to burn the world down because nothing's trustworthy. I'm just like, maybe I should be the villain. Let me be the villain now, right? Apparently, the light sucks. The Titans suck. Everything sucks. I'm just you know what? Let me. Arthas was right. Arthas was right all along. We gotta kill everybody and raise them as undead. But that's a twist that I was curious about. The timing, by the way, doesn't quite make sense to me because the Haranir wouldn't have been there when the Titans are here to reforge. So there's still a good handful of questions that don't make sense. I'm hoping they flesh out, but there seems to be something there. Of course, though, they could pull the classic Hallowfall and give us this crazy cool crystal thing in the sky that changes back and forth between light and void, and then give us absolutely no future context or story around it whatsoever. And it's very obviously a super important thing, but what is it? We don't know. We have no clue. Maybe it's a sign that the world soul's struggling, but why does that show us that? I don't know.
Maybe it's also not a sign.
Maybe it's not. They won't tell us. I think they want to just move on from that, which is weird. The coolest thing, literally the coolest thing in the War Within just never got touched upon.
The giant sword. Oh, right.
Oh, what sword, dude?
What sword?
What sword?
That too, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Otherwise, I think there were some twists in the lore regarding Eretor, Turalian, and then also Lithraxian that I kind of went woe on, but not woe in a good way. Kind of woe in the, like, dude, they're wasting some of these. I think the writers behind these characters were thinking really two-dimensionally, and it was bad. I think it was bad. I think there's a lot of people right now who are playing the game who absolutely like and love, actually absolutely love watching the light kind of be this negative force. But I just think it's bad writing. I think people like it because they wanted it to be a bad thing, but I just don't think the writing is there for it, if that makes sense. I don't think the like again, it just doesn't make sense. It's like they're simplifying Turalian's character like overly so. And it just doesn't make sense, right? The whole idea in the past was that, like, the light was just the light, and you just had to trust in it, right? And it generally was a good, benevolent force. But if your heart was messed up, you could like, use the light in negative ways, thinking what you were doing was right? But now they're kind of twisting it to where the light can push you to do those crazy things without you even, like, I don't know. It just doesn't totally make sense.
That seems kind of sus.
Yeah, I think they killed off a character that was actually conceptually really cool and would allow for some amazing story writing and was very unique. And we'll never, ever see a character like that again in the story. And they killed them off just for a quick dungeon boss with, like, basically no actual, like, good reason for it. Like, no, genuinely, like, the logic behind it, just the storytelling sucked. My wife and I are watching an anime right now that we're really enjoying. It's fun. It's good. We love the character interactions and relationships. But, like, half the time with the plot, there's, like, so many plot holes that you're like, they could have just done this or this or right. Like you kind of just have to suspend your disbelief for a little bit. And in WoW, I think I don't like suspending my disbelief because it's a world I feel active and alive in, not just like entertainment I'm watching. You know. Sorry. Anyways.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
That was a lot there. All right. Next question. I'm going to let Chicken read this one because this one is one for him.
No, it's not. But I'll read it. This is from Zafazin. Not sure how you pronounce that. Yeah. Any chance we could get another Warband episode at some point with all these callbacks to the old content? Riff of Aelin, Lights Hope, et cetera, et cetera. One of my favorite things about Midnight so far is all the references to old stuff, even if it's not deeply explored in game. Oof. So, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hard maybe.
That's a hard maybe. I think, if I'm honest, also it's Rift of Aln. It's where I believe they threw Xavius, which I think was really supposed to be super heavily tied to the Emerald Dream. So it's interesting that we're seeing a connection to it in Herondar, but that's another story for another day. With that said, though, when it comes to the lore band, we've joked about the lore band ever since the podcast first started. It's not a no. Let me just say we're not saying no to doing it. But when we did the episodes for Christmas, I really enjoyed doing them and recording them. But there was also a deep part of me that was just like, this doesn't feel like the right fit yet for us. That's not to say we won't talk about lore and we won't have like lore stuff, but the idea of episodes that are just built around telling lore, right? Like a retelling of lore. I think it was a wonderful Christmas gift that we got to do, and you could potentially see it again next year for Christmas. That might happen. We haven't decided yet. That's a possibility. What I do think the real answer, though, is that especially this past month, as we've been starting to plan out future guests on the podcast, I think it would be fun to occasionally bring in guests on the podcast that represent maybe a little bit more knowledge in lore within World of Warcraft, and hopefully some voices that you even recognize to talk about lore with us. Because honestly, for me, I think that'd be more fun. It's more engaging even for Chicken, right? Than for me to just sit and give a lecture to Chicken about lore for 45 minutes at a time, right?
Yeah.
If we're being fair, right? And so just keep an eye out. I don't know if the lore band will ever continue, but that's not to say we're not going to talk about lore. And I like the lore band title so much that I promise you we will find a way to at least incorporate the name lore band into something. Because I do.
Yeah.
The lore band. But yeah, so just know those are topics I really do want to talk about, but I want to talk about more in theorizing kind of ways than just, hey, here's all the background of the lore of those things. And for the fun of it, that gives Chicken a minute too. If we know what we want to talk about when we bring these guests on, that gives Chicken a minute too to spend an hour or two that week and just catch up on a couple of the lore pieces before we record and jump into that conversation. To be the smartest of us all. Dude, imagine Chicken shows up and he knows more about lore than the rest of us. That'd be crazy. I say crazy, but like awesome. That'd be awesome.
That would be kind of crazy.
But
maybe you should explore doing some kind of short form content lore band. Like that might be neat, but
that's true. We'll see. Back to TikTok. Maybe I'll unretire from TikTok. But with that said, that's everything we've got for you this week. Thank you so much for joining us on the Warband. We can't wait to talk to you next week. So many amazing things just going on within WoW, and we will be back soon enough.
Yeah.